correction, 5.0 megahertz bands. If you're interested in volunteering, please email gb2rs.manager@rsgb.org.uk. It's with sadness that we report that long-time G1 to G2 QSL Bureau Sub-Manager Anthony Noel, BRS 94111, died suddenly in November. The QSL Bureau is working with his executors and more information will be available in the new year. In the meantime, could any G1 and G2 call sign holders please not send collection envelopes and refer to the RSGB website for further information. During December, groups from schools, universities and local clubs will activate call sign G15 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha YOTA and its regional variations. Many of the operators will be experiencing amateur radio for the first time, so if you hear the station, please give them a call. Today, the 6th, is the turn of Stirling and District AOR in Scotland. Tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, sees the call sign move to Bath University. Then on Wednesday, the 9th, to Hilderstone Radio Club. Aberystwyth in District ARS will be operating G15 YOTA on the 10th to the 12th of December inclusive. SOS Radio Week 2016 will start at 0 hours UTC on Saturday the 23rd of January and end at 23:59 UTC on Sunday the 31st. This will coincide with the RNLI's own SOS Day on the last Friday of January. Stations intending to take part should register on the SOS Radio Week website at this web address, www.sosradioweek, that's all one word, sosradioweek.org.uk. The Golf 4 Romeo Series call sign members are advised that a temporary QSL sub-manager has been appointed, whilst a review of sub-manager provision in the G4 series is ongoing. Wayne, Mike Zero Whiskey Alpha Yankee, has agreed kindly to caretake this group. Details can be found on the RSGB website under Operating. You can also contact Wayne by email at this email address, m0wy@hotmail.co.uk. The Bush Valley Amateur Radio Club 2-metre net takes place with members travelling to high ground to increase the participation. It has operated for a month now with success every Tuesday evening starting on 145.5 MHz. They look forward to welcoming even more participants in the future. 5 years ago saw the start of discussions to put RSGB GB2RS news bulletins in the form of a podcast on the cyber air. Jeremy, Golf 4 November Juliet Hotel, and Ed, Victor Kilo 2 Alpha Romeo Echo, now Delta Delta 5 Lima Papa, worked together to create a GB2RS podcast. Technical setup and tests took place in mid-January. Correction, took until mid-January 2011. Since then, the podcast has been published every single weekend without fail. To find the latest edition of the podcast, simply search on GB2RS on either iTunes or the Lounge. Or to hear the file online with the full script, go to this web address, http://gb2rs.podbean, that's spelled P-O-D-B-A-N, correction, B-E-A-N, P-O-D-B-E-A-N, that's podbean.com. For the last 6 months or so, the GB2RS news broadcast has also been available from TX Factor, the presentation style of the TX Talk programme, which is not intended for rebroadcast over repeaters in the UK. It's different, and some may prefer it. To find this podcast, simply search on TX Talk on iTunes or through Google. Whichever version you listen to, we hope you enjoy the RSGB's weekly GB2RS news broadcasts. And now for details of rallies and events. Well, today has been the 6th Bishop Auckland Radio Amateur Club Rally. That's at Spennymoor Leisure Centre in County Durham. If you want more information about that, obviously that's finished now, but you can also always call John, Golf 4 Lima, Romeo Golf, on 01388 606 396. There are no more rallies in the 2015 diary. If you have any rally or information you'd like to appear in future editions of GB2RS in Radcom and on the RSGB website, please email details to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. Now on to special event news. Anzac's centenary commemorations end with Victor India 4 ANZAC on the air between the 12th and 20th of December, commemorating the work of the Royal Australian Naval Bridging Train. The QSL card will be available. The 200th anniversary of the birth of Ada Lovelace will be commemorated by special event station GB200 Ada ADA, and that's at Newstead Abbey in Nottinghamshire from the 10th to the 13th of December. Ada Lovelace, daughter of Lord Byron, is internationally recognised as the author of the first computer algorithm, which was written for the analytical engine designed by Charles Babbage to increase the accuracy of astronomical calculations. The special self-service downloadable certificate will be available to everyone who makes contact. To celebrate the 90th anniversary of IARU, the Radio Club of Haiti will be using the call sign Hotel Hotel 90 IARU until December the 31st. The QSL manager is Whiskey 3 Hotel November Kilo. The Santa Claus Arctic Circle team will be active as Oscar Hotel 9 Sierra Charlie Lima from the Finnish Lapland above the Arctic Circle during December. Activity will be mostly on the HF bands on all modes, and QSL is via Oscar Hotel 9 Alpha Bravo. On the 18th of February 1930, astronomer Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto at Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, using a blink comparator and photographic plates. 2015 was designated the year of Pluto. To celebrate, the members of the Northern Arizona DX Association will operate special event station Whiskey 7 Papa, starting at 0 hours UTC on the 5th of December and ending at 23:59 UTC on the 13th. W7P operators will be on the air from inside the Pluto Discovery Telescope dome, as well as from club members' homes. Operation will be on SSB and CW. And now the DX News compiled from 425 DX News and other sources. Martin Whiskey 8 Alpha Kilo Sierra will be active as 8 Papa 9 Echo Zulu from Barbados, which is IOTA reference November Alpha 021, and that's from the 5th to the 12th of December. He'll operate on 40 metres to 10 metres, and logs will be uploaded to Logbook of the World. Haru Juliet Alpha 1 X-Ray Golf India will operate from the South Cook Islands as Echo 51 X-Ray Golf India from the 3rd to the 10th of December. Operation will be on all bands 160 to 10 metres, CW, SSB and digital. And QSL is via his home call site, that's Juliet Alpha 1 X-Ray Golf India. Antoine, who normally is resident in Fiji using the call sign 3 Delta 2 Alpha Golf, will be travelling to the separate DXCC entity of Rotuma. That's Oscar Charlie 060. That's from mid-December until mid-January. While in Rotuma, he will use the call sign 3 Delta 2 Alpha Golf Stroke Papa. He'll be using solar power and a spider beam and or wire antennas, and that's on all bands 80 metres to 6 metres. Freddie, Foxtrot 4 Hotel Echo Charlie, will be travelling in the Pacific region during December. Look for him as Kilo Hotel 2/Old Call from the 3rd to the 9th of December from Guam, which is Oscar Charlie 026. This will be followed by activity as Kilo Hotel 0/Foxtrot 4 Hotel Echo Charlie from Saipan, which is Oscar Charlie 086 in the Mariana Islands, and that's from the 10th to the 13th of December. Finally, Pedro Charlie 5 Whiskey Papa will be active in the Gambia from the 12th of December to the 9th of January. He also hopes to operate from Western Sahara and Mauritania. He's planning to bring delta loops for 80 metres as well as operating the higher bands. The country's only other amateur, Charlie 5 Yankee Kilo, is leaving the country permanently, which leaves Pedro as the only resident ham left in the Gambia. Before the contest news, a reminder that you're listening to GB2RS, Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain, coming to you from the station of Golf for Golf Sierra Yankee in North Manchester. So now the contest news. The AOR 160 metre contest was on today. I think that has now finished. Yes, that finished at 1600 today. Also today, the finishing at 1600 has been the 144 MHz AFS contest. On Tuesday next, the 432 MHz UK activity contest takes place from 2000 UTC to 2230. Using all modes, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. Next weekend, the AORL 10 metre contest runs from 0 hours UTC on the 12th to 23:59 on the 13th. Using CW and phone only on the 28 MHz band, the exchange is signal report and serial number. Additionally, US stations will send their state code and Canadian stations their province code. The UK 6 metre group winter marathon contest runs from the beginning of December until the end of January. Information and rules can be found on the UK SMG website. Any station can enter, you don't have to be a member of the group. Well, that's the end of the contest news. Now on to the radio propagation report, compiled by Golf 0 Kilo Yankee Alpha, Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar, and Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha on Friday the 4th of December. Last weekend saw reasonably settled conditions for the CQ Worldwide contest, with DX to be had on all the upper HF bands. However, 10 metres was a little lacklustre this year due to the lower solar flux compared with 2014. 20 and 15 metres proved to be the money bands as the flux dipped below 100. Both bands managed to remain open, even giving DX contacts on 14 MHz at the sunset to countries like Costa Rica, with Mike 0 Delta X-Ray Romeo's activity as Tango India 5 Whiskey. This week has seen more unsettled geomagnetic conditions, with the K index hitting 5 on Monday due to an elevated solar wind stream. This had a southward facing BZ component that more easily coupled to the Earth's magnetic field. We should see the solar flux index in the 90 to 115 range, and we also expect to experience continued unsettled geomagnetic conditions, with the K index hitting 3 or 4 at times. This may impact the higher HF bands, but as we're heading towards the winter solstice, our advice is to concentrate on the lower bands, meaning 40, 80 and 160 metres, where you may get some surprises. 40 metres in particular may start to open to DX before sunset, tending towards longer skip as night progresses. And now the VHF and up propagation news. There was good tropospheric conditions on the 2 last week, and there's still a chance of improved tropical conditions in time for the 70cm UKSC on Tuesday evening. The majority of the continent will be under a large area of high pressure, with good tropical prospects, especially across the Mediterranean and across Biscay, down past Spain and Portugal to the Canaries. Southern Britain, to the south of the weather front, may be able to tap into these better conditions, especially in the first part of the week. For this tropical action, remember to keep to path south of the weather front. Beaming into northern Europe may be good. Once the front moves away to the south and the weather turns brighter and colder again, you will no longer be in the tropoductic region. It's worth checking the forecast maps during the week for signs of the high rebuilding towards southern areas. The Gemini's meteor shower peaks next Sunday, the 13th of December, so be prepared for some good meteor scatter QSOs next weekend. Moon declination is negative all this week, so there are short moon windows and low elevation paths. The moon is very close to the sun next Friday, meaning high noise levels, and losses are at maximum on Saturday due to its reaching its apogee, the furthest point from the Earth. And that's all from the propagation team for this week. It's also the end of the main news, so now on to local news. Please note that details of all RSGB affiliated clubs and societies can be found on the RSGB website, including email addresses and website links where known. Just two items in fact for the North Midlands area. First of all, Salop Amateur Radio Society has its club CW net on Wednesday from 4:30pm on 144.07 MHz, followed by the Voice net from 8:30pm via GB3 Lima Hotel. Thursday sees a Natter night and committee meeting. For details, email salopamateurradio, that's one word, at gmail.com. And then on Wednesday, Telford and District Amateur Radio Society is watching the RSGB radio propagation video with a Skype chat afterwards with Steve Golf Zero Kilo Yankee Alpha. Contact John Humphreys, Mike Zero Juliet Zulu Hotel on 07 824 737 716. So now here's the news for the North of England. Stockport Radio Society is holding an advanced exam at 6pm tomorrow Monday. Thursday sees a club net. Contact Heather Stanley, Mike 6 Hotel November Sierra on 07 506 904 422. Or you can send an email to info@g8srs.co.uk. Halifax and District Amateur Radio Society has an open net on Wednesday on 145.4 MHz. That's from 7:30pm. Then Thursday sees a joint net with Rafars on 145.350 MHz. That's from 7pm. Contact Martin Mike 0 Golf Quebec Bravo on 01 422 341 317. On Monday, Thornton Cleveland's Amateur Radio Society is on the air. Contact John Rodway, Golf 4 Foxtrot Romeo Kilo on 01 253 862 810. On Tuesday, Chester and District Radio Society is holding a committee meeting. Contact Bruce Sutherland, Mike 0 Charlie Victor Papa on 01 244 343 825. On Wednesday, Denbydale Radio Club has a club net from 7:30pm on 145.575 MHz. Contact Darren, Golf 0 Bravo Whiskey Bravo on 07 974 423 227. Also on Wednesday, Mid-Cheshire Amateur Radio Society is having a look at PCB making. Contact Peter Paul Fox, Golf 8 Hotel Alpha Victor on 01 606 553 401. And finally, on Thursday, South Manchester Radio and Computer Club is having an aerial and propagation clinic with Ron, Golf 3 Sierra Victor Whiskey. Details from him on 01 619 693 999. A couple of items now from the Wales area, North Wales. On Thursday, North Wales Radio Society is having a technical topics evening. Contact Kerry Jones, 2 Whiskey Zero Lima Juliet Charlie, via email to 2w0ljc@mail.com. And on Thursday, Wrexham Amateur Radio Society is visiting Berkshire Amateur Radio Society for the Christmas quiz. Details from iPhone Parry via email to mw6eyu@gmail.com. And with that we come to the end of this week's GB2RS News broadcast, compiled by the Radio Society of Great Britain, which represents amateur radio and radio amateurs within the United Kingdom and internationally. News items for GB2RS should be sent to RSGB headquarters as far in advance as possible. The deadline is 10 a.m. on Thursday. You may contact our news desk by phone on 01 234 832 700 or by fax on 01 234 831 496. If using email, please send general news items for Radcom and GB2RS to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. The RSGB retains the copyright of the material transmitted. Information about amateur radio or the latest GB2RS broadcast schedule can be obtained by sending an A4 size stamped addressed envelope indicating your requirements to this address. The Radio Society of Great Britain, 3 Abbey Court, Fraser Road, Priory Business Park, Bedford, Mike Kilo 443 Whiskey Hotel. Our web address again, 3ws.rsgb.org. GB2RS is not licensed with two-way communication, but calls will be welcomed after close down under the call sign Golf 4 Golf Sierra Yankee. So, until next Sunday, 7-3, have a very good week from the GB2RS News team. This is Golf 4 Golf Sierra Yankee now standing by for reports. I would appreciate call signs only on initial contact. G4GSY listening.
G0NAJ, good evening, Mike.
G0NAJ, good evening, John. Anybody else? No, looks like you're the only listener. How did you go on this morning?
Fine, no problem at all, apart from 4 meters, and at least you had one more than I had. Nobody on 4, but